just checking my emails from 2 years ago, got my application and came in here. I remember I didn't know anybody, didn't know who was who. I believe at that meeting, Matt Clifford was being introduced as the new police chief, and now he's moved on to sheriff. So time flies, time moves fast. That was only 2 years. In fact, it was only 3 years ago this month that I sold my house in Federal Way, Washington. I traded in my reliable Nissan Versa hatchback that I'd driven to Alaska and to Maine and to Florida for a spacious Odyssey van. Packed my wife and 2 children at the time, and we just took off. We started driving and checked out the country. We went down to Arizona and Texas, all the way over to Mississippi and South Carolina, up to Ohio and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We saw the cabin at the place where Laura Ingalls grew up. And then we kept driving and we came here. And we decided to stop here in Eagle. I didn't quite know what I was doing. When I was a child, and even when I was a young adult, I always thought that running your own business was something that you were just born into. That you had 2 classes of people. You had your businessmen and your media personalities and your political leaders, and then you had all the rest of us. And I was in this group, and so that was just the way things were. But I had been doing some computer work on the side. My experience was in network administration and systems administration with in a variety of businesses, public schools and nonprofits. And so I figured, what would it hurt? What if I just tried to step out on my own and start a business? And I did that. And I started with 1 client and then put out some ads and got some more. I came here to the chamber and started to realize that people who run businesses are just normal people, believe it or not. And so it still feels a little bit weird sometimes, but I'm getting used to it. And it really helps to be in an environment like this where I can meet other people who are on the same journey. They've gone out there, stepped out to start their own business. Maybe it's just a 1-person office doing accounting or anything else, or maybe you're part of a much larger organization, but they all started from somewhere. They all started because somebody sat down and said, I have an idea. I have something that I can offer people. And the way I see my role, the reason I use the lights in the water tagline is because I think people have this idea that computers are still this really high-end ivory tower, white-collar thing, but I don't really think that's the case. I think computers and network access and internet access at this point, they are essentially the same as the electricity and the water. It's utilities. It's things that you need to do your work. And so I see my role as coming alongside you in your business to take care of the confusing technology stuff, which is confusing to me sometimes, honestly. And so that you can get back to what you're doing. If you're an accountant, you want to focus on accounting, not making your computer or printer work. If you're into property management, you want to be out there working on your properties and working with your clients rather than having to figure out why you can't send an email. And that's how I see my role, to come alongside you to help take that off your plate. And I left some papers out there with some information, some business cards. Take a pen. I got those from my friends over at Vistaprint, and I think they look pretty fun. So take that back to your office, and if you ever have any questions, or if you're planning a big computer or technology project, or your computer's just running slow and you want to make it run faster, give me a call or an email, and I will be there. I appreciate your hospitality here in Eagle and at the Chamber of Commerce.